Alright, Linus, so SSR Gin is the newest available character in Bleach Soul Residence, and of course with that today, we're gonna go ahead and summon for him. So it's my hope with these summons that we can get Gin relatively early, because thus far, when it comes to me summoning on this game, I've not really gotten a character early. Not too early at the very least. Obviously, we did a reroll for Ichigo, so I was able to get it in my first 10 pull, but that was like after 4 hours of rerolling. And then with Aizen and also Toshiro, it does take like 50, 60, 70, 80 multis almost. I've had to go almost full pity every single time, so it would be nice to actually get something pretty early. But right now, we're almost halfway through. Haven't been too lucky thus far, but if we can save ourselves like 4 to 5 multis, that would also be relatively nice. Right now, not looking too good. Obviously, there's no SR character to look forward to here because Rangiku has been delayed, and that's a character that we are going to be given for free max dupe in the future, which is actually really cool. How many multis are we in? These are going by super quick. I'm 150, so it should be around now where Gin starts to appear, right, surely? So, not now? Okay. Going on to our 70th summon, surely. We don't have to go any further than that. There we go. Gin is on my account. Another, not full pity, but had to go decently far. Are we going to get a 2-in-1 though? I guess that's the question right now. I guess we're going to find out. Let's see the summon animation. There it is. Okay. Bankai Gin, let's go, baby. Nice. Love that Wakemoon outfit, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. So moving on to the weapon. In this case, we're already 7 out of 40 because last time I did do a multi, we did get the weapon early. I'm glad to say we've done the same thing again. You love to see it. Haven't been too lucky on the character summons, but at least the weapon summons have come through straight away. So right now, we're still chilling with 26,000 Jades for the next character, which at this point is in 3 weeks from now. Alright then, so now that we finally have access to Gin as a character, let's quickly break down what this character does offer and how good is he actually going to be, at least when you have him on your account day number 1. So one of the main ways this character is going to be dealing damage is through Impale skill, which you can just do by dealing damage to enemies. Every time you're attacking an enemy, you're inflicting Impale skill, and once that number does reach 100, it will trigger, dealing damage upwards to 500% of Gin's attack. Additionally, when Gin isn't on the field and you're using other characters, your teammates for example, if you specifically use their special attacks, their techniques, battlefield skills, ultimates, or counterattacks, so basically everything but their basic attack here, they can also inflict Impale skill. So Gin is going to be always providing damage even when he isn't even on the field. And that's why, when you see later in this video, his damage output can be really high. With that, another special thing about this character is going to be his technique effects. It does take a bit of getting used to, I will be honest, because I've already played around with it. But this is a technique that you don't want to press once. You want to hold it down, consume all technique points to get the max damage potential. As you'll see here, if you only consume 1 technique point, you're getting 460% of his attack. 2 technique points goes up to 920%. And then when you consume all 3 technique points, you are dealing damage equal to 1,840 of Gin's attack and also inflicting a little bit more impale scale. Now, the way you are going to get these technique points is just over time. Anytime you are playing with the character, there will be a gauge we'll check out in a sec in gameplay that indicates when you're next about to get a technique point. So it's relatively easy to follow through. Now, keep in mind, this is day number 1, so we haven't fully built the character, but of the little runs that I have done thus far with the available stamina that I did have, we do have some good pieces on him. So Gin is going to make use of the Mocking Visage stamp set. It's a new stamp set specifically for him, and it's a really good one at that. So the 2-piece set is going to offer 50% more element damage. That's really good, and even other characters like Rangiku, maybe even Kaname, for example, can take use of that. For the 3-piece set though, each time a debuff on an enemy is triggered, so let's say wound or impale skill, the character's thrust damage is increased by 1.5% upwards to 10 times for 10 seconds, and upon receiving all 10 stacks, his technique damage and ultimate damage are going to be increased by 25%. So really good damage buffs here across everything this character wants to do, his ultimate, technique, and also element damage. And this stamp set pretty much sums up Gin as a character in terms of what you want to focus on. These are going to be the ways he wants to deal damage. So with my particular set, we have gotten lucky considering that it's only day number 1. Stamp 1, we're going with attack percentage for the basic stats. And unfortunately for the advanced stats here, we did get more element damage and also crit rate, and rolled into those specifically. Like always, any crit damage, ultimate charge rate, attack percentage is also going to be really good here. For my second one, I went with crit rate. Fortunately, did happen to also roll 30% more element damage. So that's really good for him. This build right now is lacking crit damage. I will be honest, we basically have no crit damage here. And in the third piece, we are going with element damage because, again, that's one of the main ways he is going to deal damage. And unfortunately, we did also roll attack percentage, crit rate, and also element damage. By far not the best pieces for this character, but considering the rolls that we could have gotten, I'm pretty happy with what we have gotten thus far, day number 1. Now, when it comes to using Gin in a team, you can definitely go with this team. It's the go-to, I guess, thrust team, especially when Rangiku does release to potentially make this team better, more element damage focused. Because Kaname and Gin are very similar characters in the sense that they want to deal element damage, but because Aizen is such a broken character, you might just want to go with this because Aizen is absolutely insane. We'll do 2 test runs to show you what I mean. But in case you do want to go with a Kaname build, for example, we can go with this. And let's set a timer for 60 seconds just to showcase how much damage this team can potentially do. So we're going to start with Kaname just to get that first attack in. Then we're going to use Kisuke, build up the ultimate. Then we're switching into Gin. So now we're going to keep using our basic attack. Then we use our special attack here. We can hold down the attack button. Then use our counter attack here, which you do get, I believe, if you unlock his weapon. Go back to Kisuke, and that's basically the rotation right now that we are doing. Until we can start activating our Bankais with Kaname, for example. Let's go back to Gin. We have all 3 technique points here, which is really good that we were able to get those without even playing with the character. We're staying on him with our basic attack, special attacks here. Let's go ahead and use Kaname. Then we activate his Bankai. So Kaname is going to be able to do some respectable damage. Not nearly as impressive as it used to be, because Aizen, again, is such a broken character here. But we're doing some good damage. I can also see that we are inflicting Impel. There we go. Big damage here. This should be 700 to 1.3 mil. 1.3 mil exactly. And then we charge up again. I love the sound effects. Man, Gin is so fun. He says bye-bye when you switch out? Nah. I don't know if you can catch that through the background music, but he says bye-bye when he switches out. That's so funny. No way he does that. That's so sick. And as you can see here, that is what the damage is looking like with this particular team. You'll see that most of the damage is going to come from Gin's element damage. And that's because that's going to be inflicted when he isn't even on the fields. But when he is on the field, a lot of the damage is going to come from his technique here, as we were able to deal 4.12 million damage. And in the ultimate, at least in a 60-second timer, you know, you're only going to be able to use it once. In a longer quest, you can get more damage from it. 1.3 though from one use is actually pretty solid here. And then in regards to Kaname, this is what my damage is looking like. But again, Kaname right now potentially wants to use Gin's new set. So unfortunately, I've not built that for him because I'm still trying to work on Gin. But still some respectable damage for a sub DPS unit that at least isn't Aizen. But overall, we were able to deal 16 million damage in just under 1 minute. So this is another team that you can use, and obviously it's a team you might want to use because Aizen is a very fun and powerful character. And it also just feels right using Gin and Aizen in the same team. Now, before we do have a look at the damage numbers between the two units here, keep in mind Aizen has some really good gear, stamp set, and I've also 6-starred all of them. Gin does not have any 6-star gear. Just something to keep in mind. But now let's do another run and see how much damage we are doing now that we have Aizen in the team. So, same strat with Kisuke, we're just going to use our 2 special attacks, get off the ultimate, switch into Aizen. Continue to use his basic attack, then we switch it to Gin. Now we use our basic attack, or special attack, sorry. Might as well charge it up. Getting a really good sound effect when you do let off all 3 of those. And then back to Aizen. Kind of a shame that Kaname is not a support character. It would have been really fun to use Kaname, Aizen, and Gin in the same team, you know? Right, let's get the rotation going again. Fortunately, not got every single hit. Just a little bit slow there, but it should be fine. Back into Gin. Let's use our Buto Ranger. Back to Aizen. Let's use our ultimate. The rotations right now are getting quite crazy, I will be honest. Right, back to Kisuke just to stack the boost again. Back to Gin. We have our charge again. And then we're going to keep on him. Let's use our special attack. Let's keep doing all these attacks here. Let's use our ult. Good damage there. And then finish off with Aizen. Yo, this team's crazy. And Aizen's doing insane damage too. And we're not even done. We still have like a few attacks to get in. Okay, kind of messed up there on the final hit. But in that case, 17 million damage. With this rotation, for some reason, Gin did a bit less damage. Not really sure what I did different there, to be fair. I guess we weren't getting as much element damage bonus because, you know, Kaname was contributing to element damage. I believe last time we did do around 5 million. Now we're doing around 3 million. But you kind of make up for it with Aizen. Because Aizen's still doing like 8 million damage. Both of them are doing 8 mil. And this is both of them only at like max level, at least on my account level, with like no, you know, dupe investment. And dupes obviously make a big deal here. So Gin, thus far from what I've been playing with, is a lot of fun, I will be honest. And also just very powerful as a main DPS character. In different ways compared to the other cards that we have received, Ichigo and also Toshiro, the two other premium full assault units. But it is nice to know you can use this team in particular. Because, truth be told, I might be using it. Alright then, so next up, let's jump into some content. Currently on trial 15 of the Frost type tower. Something that I haven't just done yet. Was kind of waiting for Gin to come out. Now's a good time to do it, right? So just to guess, goes to show how the rotation is going to work in actual combat, not in the training zone. So through the weapon style, I believe we do get to instantly use our Buto Ranging attack, which is actually really cool. Get to use it again. It's going to add a lot of extra damage. But one of the things I'm liking right now with Gin is that I feel like he builds up Kaname's battlefield skill very fast. So I do like that. Let's down Kisuke for a little bit. Just reflect that. Unfortunately, that did actually kill the enemy there. So the next enemy did get dragged into it. Let's do that. And then what I'm, again, really liking right now, the way his passive does work, is that even when you aren't using the character, you're building up those technique points. So the next time the character comes back in, he has all his attacks ready. It's really good. Let's go use our ultimate. This might be a little bit overkill. Maybe I should went back onto Gin, to be fair. I guess we do get to Ikaku. Do we hit him? We do, nice. Completely whiffed that second attack. That was annoying. That wasted a lot of damage there with Kaname, unfortunately. But we're gonna have Gin to come through and clutch up for us, you know. So again, let's use that. You can see we did inflict impel. So Gin now has all his attacks ready. This is what you're going to be looking like a lot when it comes to rotations with Gin, switching in and out. And I do like that the charge attack does give that invincibility frames, but also a lot of range to be had there. The enemies, even if far away, are getting hit by it. You just lunge straight to them. Let's back up though. Unfortunately, wasn't able to parry that, but we have the Buto Engine. Let's go back to Kane. We're back to Kisuke. And that should be it. There we go. So you can see that even though, like, you know, we just used Kisuke, Kisuke did deal the finishing blow there, but it was more so thanks to Gin with his impel effect. So I actually really do like the way Gin has worked. You know, there was data mines over the last 2-3 weeks, even that, you know, how Gin is going to perform, and they changed his kit last week based on the data mines. I actually really like how he plays. He's a very straightforward character, simple character too. Definitely a lot less complex when compared to Aizen, but I don't think that's a bad thing. You kind of want your full assault character to be simple and just do a lot of damage. That's basically what Gin is doing right now. Damage that a lot of times you don't even know you're doing because impel scale is just going off. But I do like the synergy he has going for right now with Kaname, because Kaname is a character I really like using, so I'm glad I got to use him again. Did build him specifically for this team. I don't know how I didn't parry that. Okay. And then also, like, I really like that Gin can gain his spiritual pressure very fast. Like, one combo almost is enough to get that maxed. I'm trying to parry these. We're messing up here. There we go. Again, it takes a bit of used to. getting used to with his technique effect there because I'm using it like it's a normal technique. I'm not used to holding it down because he's the only character in the game right now that does have this charge mechanic, you know? And then I switch to Kame. Go back to Kisuke because we need to reapply our boost there. And you can see the 2 special attacks into an ultimate does inflict impel. And that actually takes down that enemy, which is really cool. Let's charge up. Let's go use Kame's Bankai. Just to get some extra wound effects, inflict bleed non-stop, inflict more impel onto the enemy. There we go. Can I keep track? How many times do we actually inflict impel? I think we only count as 1 there, to be fair. Now let's stay on Gin. Use his basic attack. Charge up. And then going into the next boss rotation. Honestly, if there's anything to nitpick, is that Gin doesn't have like a super high hit count. So in a situation like this where you want to break the enemy, granted, to be fair, it's only 19. It's relatively fine. Even this parries is 1 hit. So I guess if there's, again, anything to nitpick, it's the fact that he does have a lot of hits into his kit, which normally isn't really that big a deal. But in a situation like that, it can be a little bit annoying. Especially when you're up against Byakuya, I believe. The Byakuya boss. Like always, when it's the new team that I am using, I'm not super locked in on the rotation. So we do forget sometimes to go back to Gin or Kisuke to keep the boost going. Let's use our ultimate though. That should be around 1 million, I believe. We'll take it. Honestly, like I said before, some ult charge wouldn't be too bad on a character like this. Let's charge it up. Again, really good damage on that technique, man. That was insane. We did like 5 HP bars just there. Absolutely crazy. One thing I will say, though, in regards to this team is that they don't really have any, like, amazing survival effects, similar to, you know, if you were to use Aizen, for example. He has the invincibility. Right now, though, most teams are just straight raw damage besides the Spirit-type team, unless you, again, you do throw Aizen onto your team. But I don't find myself taking many hits with this team, with the way Gin does work as a character. Let's charge up. So even with the charge effect, that does leave you open for a few seconds. It's still relatively fine. Let's keep him going. Juggle him in the air. Let's wait for Kisuke to come back in. There we go. Flicked impel there. Lovely. Getting switched back into him. We have all our stacks ready. All our powers powered up. Look at the movement on Gin right now. Look at the combo. This is crazy. And then we also have our ultimate here. Good damage there, I think 1.3. 1 mil. 1.3. So it looks like the final hit's always going to do like 1 million. Let's make sure we reapply our booster. And then we're going to go back to Kaname. Activate the Bankai. But I am liking Gin's rotation with Kaname. Kaname doesn't have much screen time at present, nor does he need to. You kind of just come in, go out, and only stay on the field when you need to do stuff like this. Alright, here we go. And then this should start to finish up the boss. 4 HP bars, let's see how it goes. Does seem like this team is very, very parry heavy too, which I think is a good thing. Again, you're pretty much just dealing raw damage. So thus far, I'm kind of liking what all 3 teams do offer. The Frost type team, the Spirit type team, and the Slash type team. They all play differently thanks to the characters that they have access to in their team, which I really do like. All 3 have complete different playstyles. Gin's playstyle right now is actually really good. And again, that was the first time we did beat that. I'm liking the character, and I'm excited to see what the Strike team is going to get in the future. But that's basically Gin in a nutshell. Relatively straightforward character. He just cares about dealing damage. Use your special attacks, use your ultimate, use your technique when it's fully charged up, switch in and out when you have to. And whether this character is in or off the field, he is contributing millions of damage from the in-peril scale effects. While it's unfortunate we don't have access to his SR character, Rangiku, she will be here eventually, and we will get her max duped, so that'll be a great support character for this Frost-type team, which is going to work very well with Kaname, and also, of course, especially Gin. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think about Gin in the comments below. Have you summoned for him? Are you enjoying him for day number 1? I'm curious to know, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.